नमस्कार मैं हूं अशोक व्यास and it's a very interesting phase with a lot of challenges as well as opportunity to find ways to overcome these challenges, be it COVID-19, be it civil unrest in New York and other areas. There are many economic challenges which the world community is facing collectively, individually also, and many entrepreneurs are feeling the pinch. But at the same time, in order to gain inner strength, uh, very special day in the month of June, which is International Day of Yoga, helps us focus collectively on our inner strength. And as every year, New York and New Jersey collectively working with Consulate General of India uh, to offer something of substance for the community. And I have the distinct pleasure and honor and joy of welcoming some of these dedicated, I would say, yoga warriors. So I'll introduce them quickly, beginning with Niren Chaudhary ji. Welcome, Niren ji. Look at the camera and greet our viewers. Namaste. So now there is a sense of confusion which the technology brings to our doorstep sometimes. And then from Narenji is actually very active in multiple charity organizations. Narenji, can you hear us?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
Ashok.
so smile for our viewers because smile is very important for a yoga practitioner. And you are not only helping multiple organizations in India, you are part of telecom industry. And I also have the pleasure of welcoming someone. She's sitting like a queen right now. But that clarity comes with yoga. Sangeeta ji, welcome. Namaste.
Namaste.
She's teaching yoga for life. She's part of Gayatri Parivar also, and she's active with summer camps and many
And
activities. So
and teaching at volunteering at Stony Brook Cancer Hospital and some senior home.
very nice. So we'll come back to you. And Nitinji, you are too close to your camera. Go slightly back and greet our viewers with smile. So everybody feels lost when you are recording from home. But Namaste, I appreciate your work with World Vegan Vision. You have helped them with as PRO, and yoga actually teaches us to find a sense of balance. So once you start talking to our viewers, if you don't shake, that gives your yogic feel to them. So with that, once again, thanking Nitinji for his commitment towards yoga and spreading yoga, and he has been active with International Day of Yoga celebrations in 2018. And then I come to Uma Swaminathan ji. Uma Swaminathan ji is founder director, and she's with Indian Association of America. Then she's also an author. She has been very active with the community. Her book, Healing and Herbs, I believe, is a bestseller in India, as we understand. So we'll get the opportunity of learning a lot from Umaji in today's session. And I also have the pleasure of introducing Rajshri Kotekarji. She's a self-employed entrepreneur. She has been associated with the Isha Foundation for last 12 years, and she follows on the footsteps of Sadhguru as far as yoga is concerned. We'll begin with you, Rajshri ji. So having introduced you in the end, I seek your input in getting a clarity about the importance of yoga day as far as practicing yoga is concerned, and you also kindly help us understand what is it that you would say Isha yoga has brought in your life, which has contributed uh, in your modified perception about life.
Thank you, Ashokji, for that very flattering, introduction. Having heard all those names, Sadhguru, my name, together in the same sentence is a big honor for me. And yes, I have been a volunteer with Isha Foundation for 12 plus years now. And that's as many years as I've been practicing Isha Yoga. So I'll answer your last question first before I go on to the yoga day, so that it flows very nicely. Uh, the practice has brought in a lot of awareness. One of the things that Sadhguru is all about is raising human consciousness globally. So that is what Isha Yoga does. And for me personally, uh, this has brought in so much of clarity, so much of balance in my lives that it's very difficult to describe in words for a non practitioner. One has to experience it. It is an experiential knowledge. Yoga is not something you can impart from books. You have to practice it to be able to make out what it brings into your life. And for me, it has brought in a lot of benefits in a very different level. Like mentally, there's a lot of clarity, there's a lot of balance. All the emotions running haywire, anger, nervousness, anything in corporate life and home life, with your friends or anything, that is kind of now muted, I would say. I mean, I am emotional. There are a lot of beautiful emotions that come in life, but there's a balance. There's never something that you feel that it is getting out of hand and you cannot deal with it. So that's what yoga has done for me. And I have to speak to some of the physical benefits which Sadhguru says is a byproduct of practicing yoga. It's not really what yoga does, like I said, but it's like a byproduct of you practicing daily. I was an asthmatic for, I remember since like 16 years of age, I had my first attack of asthma. And, with people talk about being, especially during the coronavirus, people talk about not being able to breathe when they is one of the symptoms. And I have experienced that for the better part of my life. At least once a week I used to get episodes, and I was on 4 different drugs, and a lot of side effects from all those steroidal drugs. uh, but 1 month into my being associated with Isha and my doing the inner engineering, within 1 month I was free from all the steroidal medication. And even now, after 12 years of practicing, I still remain free. It's not just that it went away and came back. Like I am free of all those 4 drugs, and that's like Sadhguru has given me his my breath back. I cannot express how much freedom you get from having your own breath, not having to breathe on by the help of all these medicines. That's one of the things. And when I had first come to the US, I suffered a little injury to my back, and it was a very chronic pain, an intense pain. It is to interfere with my daily life every single day. Going to work sometimes used to become difficult. Driving was impossible. But maybe like 6 months down the line, I was free of the pain. Now I don't have any chronic pain. I don't have to see a physical therapist ever, or any treatment for that. So I'm able to like manage myself with all the yoga and everything that I do. So those are some of the byproducts. And of course, looking after twins, I have twin kids and they are just 10 years old. It's a challenge, especially now that they are homeschooling because of the coronavirus. uh, every day I'm playing multiple roles. I'm playing wearing different hats. I'm a mom, I'm a teacher also now, and cooking, cleaning, no help at home. But it has been pretty smooth. I have not had any issues handling all those multiple roles. And I give credit to all the practices and sadhana that we do every single day.
Wonderful. So let me
And
interrupt you real quick, just for a brief question. And before that, I must say, when you say no help at hand at home, I'm sure you are not complaining for your husband, and I'm sure he won't be minding what you said, that no help, because
no.
every husband is kind of ready to help. Sometimes by not helping, they feel that that is also a help. So, moving from this lighter side to the specific way in which Sadhguru has taught you to practice yoga. But yoga means many things, and we'll talk with other panelists down the line. But sometimes we consider asanas as yoga, sometimes we consider pranayama or meditation as yoga. So when you said the practices that helped you overcome the disease, the chronic ailment which you were suffering from, you would give more credit to pranayam, or what uh, would you like to fill us with about it?
So, like, we know the word yoga means union. It is about union. And like Sadhguru has taught us in his teachings, and, it's also there in a lot of our yoga texts from ancient times. Yoga is a combination of a lot of things. There is Kriya Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything. So there are, when all these combine together, does, things work for you, and your what they call the subtle energy, when that gets straightened and that's completely balanced, is when you start seeing everything else manifest. So I can't give credit to just one thing. Like I practice my Shambhavi Mahamudra, which is a part of the inner engineering, and that brings in that has got pranayam, that has got chanting, that has got a lot of the factors of yoga. We do some preparatory asanas before we get into the sadhana. So all those, and there is meditation, of course, a big part of it. So that brings a lot of equilibrium into my system. So and yoga is a way which you can bring equilibrium in your life. That is something that even our Ayush ministry subscribes to. So yoga brings equilibrium, and everything has to be done in tandem to achieve that. It's not just pranayam or just asanas. There are some things, like when I get into back pains, I practice surya kriya. I mean, I do practice that every time, but I bring a certain intensity into it, and maybe practice it for a little longer. And that takes care of if ever I get into any back issues and all that. And that's mostly breathing and asanas. So there's a lot to it, and it has to be done in tandem. I can never give credit to just one part of yoga. That'll be really wrong, because yoga is union.
Wonderful.
That's
Yoga is union, and we stay together even when we are not physically together. That is what the virtual world has taught us, and we are always together in spirit, is what our masters have always taught us. Alluding to this, to let Rajshri ji say bye bye to our viewers, because she has something else demanding her time related to yoga. So, as you say bye bye from this forum, anything you would like to add?
Yes, I mean, I didn't answer your question earlier about, how we are contributing to the IDY session, which is happening on 28th. That is the, collaboration with all the organizations. There, we will be definitely participating in it. In all probability, there will be a special address which we are getting from Sadhguru for the 6th International Day of Yoga, which we are partnering with CG and other organizations for. And there might be a small session. We all don't have enough time to impart a really elaborate yoga session, because so many organizations are involved, but that will be done. And another thing is, yeah, please do join us on the 28th and watch all of us come together in a big brotherly union. We are being, like the CG office says, we are being socially distant, but virtually always connected. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ashok ji, for all the kind words you say. And see you all on the 28th. Thank you.
Wonderful. The invitation for 28th comes to us from Rajshri ji, as well as we would like to learn a little bit more about what we can expect on 28th, and who would be better to tell us about the basic outline than Nitin Vyasi himself. Unmute yourself, as one would request on Zoom, and then address our viewers in terms of what you know about the outline. Yes, Nitin ji.
Uh, well, my name is Nitin Vyas. I'm a public relations director for the World Vegan Vision. And I've been joined with the International Day Yoga since 2018. And we are bringing, the more organization to on our board and the platform, and ask them, to perform and to promote the international yoga to the mainstream community. We had a unique event. Last year we did in Somerset, one of that Parisian hotel, and there were more than 2,000 people had come and enjoyed the International Day Yoga. It was more than the 6 of us. We started at around 12 and finished at 6 o'clock. And this time we were thinking of promoting in a bigger way, but because of the COVID and the situation is worse, so we thought that, when we can join together and virtually we can promote, International Day Yoga. So we have more than the 15 organizations, those who have promised to join with us, and they will be, every organization has been allocated the 10 minutes, and they will be performing the yoga. So more detail you will get it from the Niranji. Niranji is more coordinating with the other organization personally, so he will give that more highlight, about our event.
I appreciate that, Nitinji. So we'll come back to you also. And before going to Narenji and get the overall picture of what to expect on 28th June, let me request Umaji to sort of share her relationship with yoga, and in terms of sessions recorded on Zoom, unmute becomes another way of greeting. So as we say namaste, we say unmute. So having done that, Umaji, you look back in your life at what age you were exposed to the practice of yoga. You were here or you were in India. Walk us through your life in terms of your relationship with yoga.
Namaste, Ashokji. It's a very interesting question. I was really very much into yoga at a very young age, even when I was just about 14, 15 years of age. We lived in northern India at that time, and my father was, like in the Himalayan mountains and doing research, and we were exposed to, good food, like eating habits, yoga, and meditation, even at a very young age. So, it was part of my life, even growing up. And so we took a holistic approach then, and that carried through in my entire life. I always followed that because I guess, I had in me, even though, I didn't become a medical doctor, I had in me that I wanted to heal people. So somehow or the other, I ended up doing that. So I went and did a lot of Reiki courses, and I'm now a grandmaster, Reiki grandmaster. And what is Reiki? It is energy healing. Re is universal, and Ki is life force energy. So it is withdrawing and bringing the universal energy down, so you energize your body, and through the energy systems, the chakra systems, you're healing your body. So that is all part of yoga. As you know, yoga is so many different systems all put together, and even though we only practice the mudra and exercise part of it, it is all inclusive. The meditation is part of yoga. The energy healing is part of yoga. So I strongly believe that the holistic approach, which includes, some good food, nutritious food. So I'm a nutritionist, and of course, also an herbalist. I've learned a lot about herbs and spices and their medicinal value. So I use all of that into my training of people. So I do wellness classes. I do, Reiki classes. I do attune people. Just like when people come of age in our Indian society, we do this attunement through the thread, the Brahmin thread that they wear, and they attune that person. They provide a mantra. That mantra is what makes them gain that energy. similarly, in Reiki, you have to attune the person so that they can get that energy. So I do all of that. And then based on that, I've written books, and I'm teaching.
Let's hear a little bit about the book about healing. And as you tell us about this, I must also mention that you have shared words of wisdom. You also talked about energy, and on International Day of Yoga, we want the whole world to vibrate with that energy, which brings out the positive approach, a sense of harmony, and the spirit to work collectively. And you referred to the word holistic few times, and I think many times we look at yoga in different compartments, but the way you have mentioned about Reiki also as another form of yoga is interesting to me, because many people look at Reiki as having a different sort of a backdrop. Now coming to your book, as well as 28th, when the International Day of Yoga is being observed, how excited you are about this day, and what do you think the significance and what advantage our viewers may take from this day? Umaji, unmute your.
So the 28th definitely is a very important day, and it is important because right now what we are going through in the world with coronavirus, and just not coronavirus, there is something even beyond that. There is some discrimination going on, and there is this question of Black Lives Matter issue, and very often we don't talk about it, even though we do care. We care about this, but we never talk about it. And here, this Yoga Day is all inclusive. What we are doing is we are including the entire world. We are teaching the entire world that we are peaceful. We do all these kind of meditation and therapies where we are, trying to share our methods, which are peaceful and inclusive of other people. And so it becomes a very important event, especially this year, because we really need to let the world know, who we really are and what we want to accomplish. And, in AIA, the Association of Indians in America, one of the mission is to provide a forum of common action to all whose Indian heritage and American commitment offer a bond of purposeful unity. See, that word purposeful unity is very important. It is the same thing, like when we are doing the Yoga Day, instead of, like what has happened is yoga has been hijacked and they're using it in so many different ways. And that is not what it is. Yoga is where, we want to share about the different aspects of it, which also includes the people, different types of people. We care for them. We want to be part of them, and we want to teach them that this can bring peace within you and peace in the world.
Wonderful. Peace in the world is very, very important, and that begins by you being at peace with yourself. And I think someone who is at peace with himself looks not only well about himself, but also cares to see in what way he can contribute to the world. And in that context, Niren Chaudhary ji is an exemplary professional, as well as someone who has worked with multiple organizations. And as he unmutes his phone once again to connect with us, I want to repeat that he has served with many organizations with compassionate heart that caters to the need of disabled people, offers food where it is needed, and he's also an active part of the organization of International Day of Yoga. So, Nirenji, yoga for you, let us begin on that small side. How you perceive the role of yoga in helping you stay balanced?
Well, thank you for asking that questions. Obviously, yoga is the only one thing that which is with the rich Vedic knowledge that we can proudly say that this is the only exercise or only activities that can give both physical and mental happiness. Uh, there is probably none of the activities exist which can give both. So once you attune to yoga, obviously as a part of the meditations, you actually can feel yourself from inner side, and that's how you basically create the mental balance, which is very important to have the physical balance.
So, physical balance and mental balance both go together, but sometimes we want to learn how to stay balanced because when our thoughts are not in the proper rhythm, sometimes we are prone to get angry quickly. Sometimes we get swayed by impatient expectation of things to turn out in certain fashion. Narenji, how do you see overcoming these shortcomings become easy or easier when you start practicing yoga?
Yes, well, obviously, we are, no matter what we say, we are still human being. We still have to do our regular work duties and keeping the professional life also intact. Uh, so when we mix with the people, it is absolutely true that we will be getting annoyed, angry, emotional. All these things will happen. So what yoga and meditation does is actually control that. When you have that kind of so-called outbound emotion comes in, it is not that it will be eliminated, but at least you can control it. That is why actually when more somebody does more yoga or meditation, actually he or she can be able to control more and more. Other than that, this is a simple human life is always there. We will be always getting annoyed, angry and all these things. But the question is how you can control it at what moment, so that you don't go out of the bound. That is the so-called bound limitations that yoga and meditation does.
Wonderful. So, Narenji, now give us some details about, as you have been involved in the way things are being sort of conceived for making 28th June as International Day of Yoga to have more meaning and impact.
More meaning at what it is.
Oh, to make the celebration of International Day of Yoga more meaningful and impactful, what are the main ideas that are being considered?
Oh, thank you. Well, that's probably the good way to talk about International Yoga Day. And let me just divert the questions a little bit, because in a way it came up in actually Umaji and Nitin Bhai and myself and many other volunteers actually have been distributing the meals or lunch or dinner, so to say, from the last 3.5 months. And I counted yesterday, it's probably almost close to 3,000 meals we distributed to at least 12 hospitals and about 8 police stations. And we have been doing it, and actually we are going to basically continue until the end of the June. So within that time period, one day Nitin Bhai asked me, well, we need to arrange somehow the International Yoga Day, even in spite of this COVID situations. So we started talking, he started talking to Consulate General, and then we get involved more and more. Obviously, you probably know Mohesh Wani is also there. So he is also becoming a part of it. He has been always there, an integral part of the International Yoga Day. So we actually formed, talked about it and what the format we should do it. And that's how the whole concept of this year International Yoga Day came in. We obviously have been discussing with Consulate General, and he has been always very supportive of yoga, as you know very well, and all our viewers know very well. So we finally got together, and actually, we tried to make a virtual meeting with your help. Obviously, ITV has been very much part of it, and we appreciate all your help, Ashokji, and your team. So we have got at least 12 organizations who actually have, wants to participate with a very, very supportive way, and including the Consulate General Office And since day before yesterday, we actually are hearing more and more organizations wants to participate, even one from India. They want, because it's a virtual, so that's why we like to do it. So this year, what we like to do, we actually want to give every organization equal chance. That means, 10 minutes or 9 minutes or something like that, so that everybody get an equal chance. The idea is to take that theme that the India government of India has, provided this year theme, which is the yoga at home and yoga with family. So that's the theme we're going to concentrate, because this is the best time to make sure that we can expand and engage with as many as people across the world through, obviously, the New Jersey International Yoga Day, to make sure that at least everyone can take the benefit of the rich Vedic knowledge of the yoga for their own mental and physical happiness. So that's the basically concept of this year yoga is. And that's how we are basically working as almost like a common spirit or common objective with all of us, and with your help again, to make the 28th June a very successful. Hopefully everyone can come, and because it is not only important for in an individual level, but also social level, as Umaji basically said, in this situation of the too much of complex environment, mentally and physically, so that at least people can come as a unisons to celebrate the yoga and know the and benefit and get the benefit of the yoga through the International Yoga Day on the 28th. So that's our whole purpose is. And I have been very fortunate to work with the team that you have seen, and we have got obviously background. There are lots of other volunteers are working on it. In fact, it will be hopefully at least, it will be a good event in spite of all this, constrained environment that we have to work through it. So that's how the basically, make me excited to work with people like you and Nitin Bhai and everybody else to make this program successful.
Narenji, I want to clap for you, and your words are music to my ears, and I am sure to many ears who are looking forward to this event, as well as are inspired by the spirit with which Umaji, Nitinji, you and your other team members have worked and served food, and you're going to be doing that till 30th June. It is incredible, and I am also touched by the compassionate way as well as creative and constructive approach of Nitinji, who came up with the idea that in spite of all the adversities, we should celebrate International Day of Yoga in a big way. So before I go to Sangeeta ji, who is patiently participating in this conversation, and we'll hear from her. But I want to have Nitinji once again uh, join us in sharing how you feel unfolding of all that you conceived, as we heard from Nirenji.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry, that there was some interruption.
Okay, so Nitinji, I am happy to hear that you conceived of observing International Day of Yoga in spite of all that we are experiencing due to COVID-19. Uh, the way things are moving and more people are showing their enthusiasm and are willing to participate. How do you feel at this point about 28th event, and how many hours do you plan to have it? What time will it start? If that is already clear in your mind, kindly tell us.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thanks Niranji. I had an idea. I wanted to do something, and I was in touch with the Consulate General. I said, this is our traditional. We started in 2014. We gave it, the yoga, and we shown that, how good it is for our body, our mind, and how it balance, not only the mind and body, but balance the society, country, world, and create, the harmony. So that was, yoga is our culture, our tradition from India, and we wanted to promote in a bigger platform. So I joined with, uh, consulate in 2018, and we were doing that, and we wanted to promote in bigger and bigger way. But due to this COVID, we did not, and nobody had idea what to do. Basically, they said that no, we just postpone this year. We will do it in the next year in a bigger way. But I was always thinking that let's find out something and let's create something. So I just extend my thoughts to the consulate, also to the Niranji, and that's how we came up this idea to let's promote online, so that more and more people, not only from the USA, but around the globe, they can come and connect and watch some unique things. So many of the organization, they are doing individually, or they have the event collaborated with an Indian consulate. But we wanted to bring all the organization, and we wanted to show them the unity, the harmony, that we are one, and we want to give the best to the society, to the country, and to our brotherhood. So that's what we were just planning. So we have decided that we will be having more than 14 to 15 organization, and we will allocate them in 10 minutes. So event is going to start at 10:30 and finish at around 1 o'clock. So that's what we are just planning right now. We have the meeting tonight, and with the conference call, and we'll come up with and we will take another organization suggestion, and we will come up with exact plan in our next meeting. But this is the plan we have. We'll start at 10:30 and we'll finish at 1 o'clock. And many of the organization, they'll be coming up with their own yoga session, and they'll be performing more than the 10 minutes.
Wonderful. So there is one good thing about yoga is even while you are watching it online and you're doing it yourself, you can have the experience. Unlike if somebody wants to offer you food virtually, that won't help. So now I'll go to yoga for life related conversation with Sangeeta ji. Please unmute yourself, Sangeeta ji. And as we hear from Sangeeta ji, she has taught yoga to kids with Gayatri Parivar, to youth also. And let me request you about the initial phase of your interest in learning yoga. Who was your first yoga teacher, Sangeeta ji?
I started my means because I'm from India, so my yoga is always on and off, not regular. But when I was in my 46-year-old age, my husband is always traveling and my kids are busy, both daughters. I started my taking teacher training, first 200 hours teacher training. So my first teacher is Laurie and Connie. Two teachers are my first teachers. And then I met so many teachers. I went so many places to learn more about yoga. I learned yoga for seniors also. And currently I'm learning yoga for cancer people.
Okay, so quick
So
question.
this part,
Yeah, quick question. Sangeeta ji, many times people feel that, oh, I never did yoga and now I'm 50, 60, 70 or whatever
no,
age.
like I did yoga, but on and off. But at my 46-year-old age, when I was 46, I want to do something to serve the people. And because I am here, I need some training, I need some certificate. So I started learning my yoga. And my first training is at Yoga for Life. That was my first training. And after that, I took lot of yoga training. I went several places. I went to learn for seniors also. And now I'm learning about cancer people.
Wonderful.
So
So,
in
yeah, let me ask you how you see kids responding to the instructions related to yoga at Gayatri Parivar.
kids, because they listen very well. They are well organized, like everything is so organized and they do very well.
Wonderful. And the 28th June, or collectively observing International Day of Yoga, how exciting that is for you, and what is it that you feel you would be specially adding to this
Yeah.
year's celebration?
So like last year also and this year also, I am representing Ayurveda world. Ayurveda World. It is in New York school, and I'm so happy to be connected with all of them again. And after many years of yoga, I began to explore Ayurveda as I came to know that both yoga and Ayurveda go hand in hand to help heal our bodies and keep it healthy. So I was blessed to come into contact with Dr. Naina, who is the owner and teacher of Ayurveda World, and become my student in Ayurveda World to further explore this interest of mine.
Very good. And since we are all sitting on chair, and you have something called chair yoga also,
Yeah.
and if you talk to us a little bit about chair yoga and give one tip which could be helpful for any viewer who, of course, sits on the chair, how yoga and chair go together.
Yeah, yoga is not only for the people who can sit on the floor. Anybody can do yoga while sitting on the chair, while lying down on the bed or on mat. So chair yoga you can do very easily and you can stretch whole body.
How
So
you do
like
that?
you want me to show?
Yeah,
Do, okay. So like if your arms by your side, you can raise your arms up towards the ceiling, hands together, interlace your finger and flip your hand. So you are stretching your upper body. So you are pressing your sit bone on the chair and you are reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. So inhale, again reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your arms in front of you and round your back. So we can do many poses while sitting on the chair.
beautiful. So all that is related to awareness, and International Day of Yoga is increasing our awareness about holistic way of embracing life. And as I thank each and every one who is going to be participating, as well as who is actively working to make this event happen, I would like to begin concluding remark with each one of you. And let me go to Umaji first. Anything that you would like to add briefly as we conclude this session? Unmute each one of you, please. Umaji, about being a part of multiple celebrations of International Day of Yoga, what is it that you feel is special about this year because it is all virtual now?
Ah, okay. This year, since it's virtual, we mostly, we are going to be talking about yoga. And so what happens is maybe we can show a little bit, some exercises and people can see that. And there can be music and people can hear the music. So we can combine everything, including, also good nutrition, the value of nutrition to yoga, because, everything goes hand in hand. You have to have a balance so that you can build your immunity. And when you build your immunity, you can overcome the virus. So that concept should come out during what we are doing.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Actually, increasing one's immunity and having this sense of collective focus on the significance of yoga itself makes me feel personally excited. And I want to thank Nitinji. Nitinji, your concluding remarks for this session. And you also have to unmute yourself before people can hear you. So go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Ashokji, for taking your time and giving us the opportunity to come to your platform and to offer the best, in the International Day Yoga on June 28th. It's going to be the unique. It's not only the yoga, we also have the yoga band. We also have the yoga dances. It's going to be unique. You must be watching the yoga every day with the different organization. But we have more than the 15 organizations are going to get together and they will be performing the unique yoga. So I want everyone to keep yourself free on June 28th between 10:30 and 1. We'll have the unique event for you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Nitinji. And I'll keep Sangeeta ji for the last, and we'll bring Nripen ji. In terms of your expectation from our viewers, in what way they can take advantage of it, as well as in what way they can support.
Well, thank you again, Ashokji. So basically, if you now, let me just tell you something else. So because for the last few months, as soon as this COVID thing started, every organization were really worried about it, how they can do the yoga virtually. Obviously, meditation was much easier to do it, but yoga, they were all, we have to, any other, everybody basically thought about it. And suddenly, people started to do the yoga, and the virtual yoga is becoming more popular now. So I'm hoping that on 28th, it will be a mega virtual yoga day, basically, for internationally, so that at least everybody, and we put the timing in 10:30 to 1 o'clock in such a way so that at least people from India also can participate, or other, time zone also can participate very easily. 10:30 will be also, people can participate from the West Coast. So we are hoping that everybody at least take the advantage of this virtual yoga, and we're going to make it overall function as a very fun-filled function. That means various type of the yoga people can learn, various type of the pranayam, meditations, they can learn from various type. Plus we'll have also laughter yoga. So there's a several aspect of the yoga that people can actually have some benefit out of it. And if not, they can at least enjoy it. That's what our purpose is. So we'll make it more enjoyable, and everybody can participate it at home, or wherever they can get together virtually. So it will be much more fun-filled and entertaining, as well as beneficial for everybody. So we are hoping that not only that each and every organization will basically broadcast this from their own side, as well as obviously we have a ITV, which is a great platform that we have got for making aware of the people, making people all aware of the yoga, virtual yoga, as well as the consulate office. So I think overall, if we include all this channel, I think we will have a great attendance, and it will be a good, successful, and good model to go for. To
I cannot
actually work to
thank
follow
you enough for your spirit and the way you have worked tirelessly to make this event a success, and your enthusiasm comes across in your expression very much. And as we move towards the concluding part, finally, once again thanking Sangeeta ji for being so patient, and for picking up yoga after 46, as you said, which is also encouraging for people to not consider that because I am certain age I cannot learn. And how would you encourage kids to participate virtually in this year's International Day of Yoga? Let us say if some students who learned from you at Gayatri Parivar or elsewhere, uh, how you would encourage them to become a part of this celebration from home?
Actually, like with the kids, parents also should do the yoga with them. That is more important. Like if kids are doing and parents are talking or not doing, then maybe kids will not take that interest. Whole family should take interest.
Wonderful. So that is the theme, yoga for family, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we all are a big family, and that spirit comes to us from Nitin Vyasji. Thank you very much for joining us. The same spirit is reflected through Umaji's consistent, tireless work. So thanks to Umaji and Nitinji, as well as thanks a lot to Naren Chaudhary ji. We want to thank Rajshri ji also, and thanks a lot to you, Sangeeta ji. And indeed, the final thanks is due for all of you for bringing in this sense of togetherness. And with this sense of oneness, we can move mountains. That is what Nitinji has aspired to do by connecting us all under the umbrella of International Day of Yoga. So thanking all of them and thanking you with lots and lots of good wishes. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.
कभी कोमल बातचीत तो कभी इंटरेक्शन तेज तर्रार, तय करें मिलकर व्हाट इज रॉन्ग व्हाट इज राइट। ITV पर अशोक व्यास के साथ इनसाइट टुनाइट।